Good morning. Today is Wednesday. We are at about 11:20 in the morning, and we're doing our third video, third week of doing this. Again, this goes through compliance, and we expect to have this out to you, I'm hoping by midday tomorrow, not sooner. Just want to give you all an update here. A lot of things have been happening. There's a lot of moving parts going on here in the last week, especially out of Congress. A lot of the stimulus bill that they passed, is $2 trillion stimulus bill. It's quite the bill. It's been the biggest thing I have ever seen. There's a lot of parts to it I really like. It's definitely going to help. I think when you look at, we were just talking about this morning as a staff, when you look at the fact that nobody's doing anything right now, everybody's at home, all the retail stores are closed, everything's closed, so nothing's getting done. I think the stimulus bill, when you look how it's going to help small businesses, it's designed to, in the next month, I believe, to get people back to work once we get past this virus. And I think small businesses, if they don't get prepared, are going to be very, very overwhelmed, and we'll lose business if they're not careful. Because we see this thing getting past us, and then people are going to come back to it in droves because they haven't been able to do anything. So this stimulus was the right move, especially for small businesses. It's designed to keep employees. If they're laid off, it's designed to try and bring them back and get them paid, keep them on benefits, because they know when this virus gets behind us, the demand for things is going to be quadruple what it was before. So all exciting, I think. I think though we're in the next 2 weeks, we're going to see a dark time, I think there's going to be major light after that. And I think this stimulus package was designed for that. Some things I think you should know. There's a lot of gray areas. This package was done very quickly. Tax payments and tax returns, July 15th. Some things were not extended. And the estimated tax payments, they're still due June 15th. So those were not extended. IRA contributions, there's a lot of opinions out there. Normally they're due at tax filing date. Because that tax filing date got pushed back to July 15th, people think that these contributions are pushed back. There's a lot of analysts out there that think that the IRS has overstepped their boundaries here, and legally they can't do that. It's a federal law. So we are taking the position that all IRA contributions, Roth and traditional contributions, are due April 15th. I think you have to take that position right now until we get more clarity. If you have a SEP or a simple, those are still based on if you have deferred your corporate taxes, you file an extension on them, then they're due at the time that you file your taxes. We talked about the small businesses. It's an amazing package. We're going to tap into it. It's going to help keep employees right here, may even help us hire. It's a pretty neat deal. Not sure how it's going to happen later on in life when it's time to pay this back. But there's been a lot of discussion. It is interesting that our interest rates are pretty much at zero, and they're borrowing these dollars at zero. It's a great time to be doing this, and they're talking about infrastructure and borrowing for that. I hope Congress does that. I think it'll put people back to work. It's a great time to do it. Great time to invest, not only in the country, it's also a great time to invest into the stock market again too. So when we look at the market, it's still well off its bottoms of 3 weeks ago now. It's just bouncing back and forth. And with all the negative news out of the media on this virus, it has people very upset and concerned. But when you look at the markets, they're just working through this. So right now, the markets are working normal. I like what they're doing. These are just slow buying times. I've been talking to a lot of you about dollar cost averaging into the markets. We've been doing that just very, very slowly. for new money that's come in here in the last few months. We're going to continue to do that. For people that have diversified portfolios with bonds and stocks, we will be reallocating those eventually. I'm not quite ready to do that yet until we get through some more of this. But it is definitely, a lot of analysts this morning are coming out and talking about investing and dollar cost averaging in over the next few months. So it's always good to hear that, to know that we're not crazy. Sometimes they can be crazy. So for individuals, again, if you make under $75,000, you're going to get $1,200 each. If you make under 150 as a couple, you're going to get $24,000 total, $2,400 total, and then it's $500 per child. So all this stimulus is going to be good for both individuals and businesses. And again, when people come back to it, it's going to be, I think, a very massive demand. And I think that's exciting. I think we've seen that in China in a lot of ways too. RMDs, the required minimum distributions out of IRAs. I was wrong last week. They did suspend them for 2020. For those of you who've already taken them, it's been within a 60-day window. You can roll them back. Going forward, we are going to be, as an office, in the next 2 days, we're going to be calling everybody that's taking these required minimum distributions and just simply see how you're doing and see if you want to take them this year or if you want to suspend them. You can do either one. If you have inherited IRAs, those are still have to be taken. Those have not, that has not changed. On the state taxes, so federal taxes are extended to July 15th. On state taxes, you need to check state by state to determine if those are going to be extended or not. I think Warren Buffett said it best. A stock market is a device for transferring money from the inpatient to the patient. As I've said in the last few weeks, please be patient. Those people that are patient in these markets, we will win. We will come out of this and win. It is going to get uglier in the next 2 weeks on the very thing that created the market to go down to begin with. Now that thing's coming to be. And that's the virus and the amount of people infected by this virus. It's very clear this month we're going to see an increase in that, and it's going to be very nerve-wracking for people. The market's already factored that in. So please be very patient. Those of you who don't like your politicians, please remember, these are markets. We're invested in companies, not politicians. Thank God, or we'd all be broke. With that, again, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what we're seeing right now. The stimulus is, if you're a small business, check with your accountant, check with your banker, be sure your accountant's involved, because we think the banks are going to have, this is a very massive situation. Mistakes are going to happen, and be sure you have your accountant involved. I'm doing that. I have both my accountant, I have banker involved to do this, and encourage all your small business people to do this. It's there, and we need to do it. We need to be ready. On an individual basis, there's no doubt help's on the way. This thing's so massive. Being able to coordinate this, I can't even imagine Washington, D.C. right now. With that, I'm going to wrap this up. Again, if you have other questions, please email me. As always, any concerns or anything, please give us a call. But please be patient here. We know you're concerned. We're concerned. Going back and forth from our office to home, we're not seeing anybody here, but we're still able to do this. We're staying well away from each other. So it's not fun, but we have to be really patient through this because the markets are working through it. And so we will continue to buy in here. We're not selling, we're buying. So with that, I hope you stay safe. You're trying to do something fun, get out there. If the weather would change, we could enjoy walking a little more. And again, please Call us if you need anything. We're here. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of the week.